Hey, I'm Chris Stefanik from The Chris Stefanik Show. Check out this clip about how to live a more joyful life in your everyday life every day. That was too many words. Sorry, go ahead.
So I wasn't done with my sin
Yeah.
yet, and I was still wandering. I was still going along, and there was one night, and I had this vision in my head. I was like, my roommates had left, and I was 21 now. I'd gone through all of college, and I was still lonely. All of the need in my heart to actually find people to be with, it was not answered. It was promised, but it wasn't answered.
Wow.
And so I end up going and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go and I think I'm gonna get drunk alone. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that.
Wow.
But I was like, might as well. So I put on a suit because I'm an artist, right?
Dude, yeah.
And so because I have this vision of like a hobo with a suit on or so I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
As I'm on my way, hadn't been drinking yet, and my bike tire was squeaking. I don't know if you've ever had it where like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I
And I
decided
don't know how to fix things, unlike you. Mine just squeaks until I throw it away.
Well, I decided to fix it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to kick my tire back in alignment as
Yeah.
I'm riding my bike, real smart. 1, 2, 3, foot gets caught, thrown over the handlebars of my bike, end up flipping, broke my elbow.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a photography major and a sculpture major.
Oh my gosh.
2 weeks before the end of the semester, and I'm like, well, I'm ruined. So I just go rage party.
Wow.
I just rage party all night. I wake up in the morning the next day, and I go to brush my teeth. I eventually get a cast on at about 2, 3 in the morning, whatever. And it felt great, so I went back to the party. It was like just nuts.
Yeah.
And I went to go brush my teeth, and I'm right-handed, and I'm like, oh no. So I'm trying to brush my teeth with my left hand.
I'm going to try that tonight.
Yeah, everybody, I encourage you. This is great. And toothpaste all over my mouth, and the voice of the Lord speaks to the depths of my heart. I don't have elocution, but the voice of the Lord speaks to the depths of my heart and says, "You prayed for a moment to come back to me. Give your life to me right now."
No.
Yeah,
Your parents are praying for you.
deeply.
Right?
Deeply.
This is the stuff where it's like, as an evangelist guy, like, well, that's my job. Come to an event and I'll say, give your life to the Lord right now. He doesn't need us to do that. And when mom and dad and grandma are praying, he will literally step in if no one is around. And if there's no campus ministry reaching out to you in that moment, he will step in. Never lose hope for your kids.
Right. And
What was your response? And your aunt?
And my roommate, so I had 2 roommates, and my roommate Aaron,
Yeah.
who he was like the MC for the Campus Crusade or crew they call it now.
Yeah.
So he was like praying for me and my other roommate, who was also like, he was just lost in the new age. And so literally, so I'm there and I'm like, yes, Jesus, I give my life to you.
Wow.
But I don't know the way back. I'm like, I just feel so far, I don't know the way back.
Sorry, I want to soak in that for a second. Can you, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't really get this, can you please pray that prayer?
Yes.
Seriously. Jesus, I give my life to you, and I have no idea what that even means, and I don't know the way back.
Right. And so what do I do? I'm like, well, right on our campus, there was it used to be this building, they called it the Rock, and it was just right next to the university center. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just walk over to the campus center. And so I walk over, and that month there was this ministry that started, which was pretty cool. It was called Focus.
Never heard of them.
Some of you guys might know and have heard of
No,
them.
it's great campus ministry.
And there's Curtis Martin, and he just says hi, and
Wow.
he's like, yeah, we started this ministry. It's called Focus, and I'm like, I'm a photographer, so that's
I'll do stuff for you.
Yeah, like, well, no, focus. That's the metaphor. Like,
Wow.
what am I focusing on? Like, I'm a contemplative man. Like, I really believe that that there is a metaphor, and that God speaks in the poetry of all things. And so I'm there, and I joined Bible studies, joined John Zimmer's Bible study, joined Curtis Martin's Bible study. I joined.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
I'm like going to praise and worship, and like all of a sudden, all those church kids that I thought were nuts, that were like lame and not cool, all of a sudden they became illuminated in grace. All of a sudden the scales fell from my eyes, and I saw what was real in front of me. And this one gal who invited me to a retreat every single semester for my 4 years, which I never said yes, even after my conversion, I'm sorry. But all of a sudden I saw her courage and her love, because I mean, I had a big afro. I had like, I was
Dude.
rocking. I wore the most like flamboyant, wild clothing, and I just was having fun. I was enjoying my life.
Yeah.
Because but what was happening is the promise of all these other things of the vicious life, it didn't fulfill it, and all of those things became tributary to actually getting used by Satan. Is just how I look at my life.
I love how the scales fell from your eyes, because there's a Thomas Aquinas talks about how sin darkens the intellect, or as I say, sin makes you stupid.
Yes.
You literally can't see things.
You can't see. There's a web that's woven over all nations, Isaiah.
Yeah.
And what was happening is that I was blind.
Yeah.
And the Lord was trying to use the things of the world to actually call me back.
And so often we when we're trying to lead people to the faith, we get stuck in all the questions, which are actually coming from a place of like, no, I actually really just like this sin I'm in. I'm really just lost, and I can't see what you're talking about. Well, don't you get it? Here's the logical case, and here's the logical construct that is Christianity.
Yes.
Don't you get it?
Yes.
I'm going to push it into your intellect. No, I literally don't see what you're talking about, or I see it and it looks ugly to me.
Right.
Yeah.
The promise. So this is what's hard is that Thomas Aquinas says that we don't choose evil for its own sake. We choose a good, and it lands us in all of these circumstances that actually mess with our that take the goodness that we're trying to choose and distort it thoroughly. So what was happening is that I was actually trying to find friendship and love and community. I was trying to find this immanence, and what was happening is that I was choosing a route because I had experienced some kernel of it in the worldly life.
Wow.
And so I was living for just that little tiny speck of it, but meanwhile it was tearing off parts of me.
Man, wasn't that awesome? Be sure to smash the subscribe button. Hit, smash, demolish the subscribe button, however you want to say it, and share it with everybody you know. I get so much out of these conversations. I know you always will too. So come join me in this journey to life to the full, and we'll see you in the next video.